Good evening.
Good evening.
Hello, everyone. Who's going to be the first to join us this evening? Hello, hello, hello. Hello.
Hello.
Good evening, everyone. How are you today? Thank you for joining. Hello, Taiwo. How are you? I hope you're okay. How is everything going?
Hello.
Good evening. Hello. Who else is there? Am I in the right one, Dr. Sunday?
Yeah.
Just tend to be more cautious now. Hi, Paul. Hi, Gift. Good evening. How are you? Thank you for joining. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And as I say that, I would also like to say share, share, share. Please do the honors and share. And Paul, as an upstarter, already shared. Thank you very much, Paul. We appreciate that. Don't just share, always also invite people. I like when you invite me. I like it when I see some invitation to watch a live video that you're watching. So I'm sure that other people would. So please also do the honors of inviting people. Maybe each of us should at least invite 10 people each. And maybe of that 10, one person would join you. Who knows? But please do the honors and invite. Thank you again for joining. I hope you've had a pleasant start of the week, being Monday today. So let's get started. We're continuing our reflection on the Truth series. This is a very, very long series. So we might take this reflection to maybe a couple more weeks, who knows? But we'll try to give you a break in between. Maybe if we do 2 days, then we do another program, just so that we can imbibe this truth in ourselves. You know, it's a really, really pivotal topic, the truth. It's not the truth as we know it. I mean, I've told you the story again, but I will tell you the story again, which is I didn't realize what the truth mean. In fact, I didn't know the truth until the beginning of this series. And I've always in the past prided myself as somebody that tells the truth, but not until this series was taught, I had no idea. And I'm so grateful to be able to gain this knowledge even now. I know that I can still make sense of things, and I can still repair all the things that I didn't do right because I didn't understand truth in the past. So if you're like me, please do us the honors and share this so that we can all learn together. We can learn more. I'll just give you a little bit of background about this series. This series was a series that Dr. Sunday treated or started on the 10th of July, and it ended on the 20th of July. So that's about just over 30 days he spent on this series. But there are 45 titles, so I don't really know how it was 45 titles. In any case, the 45 titles, each of them are average about 2 hours long. So that means it would be about 90 hours of teachings on the truth, the power and the force of truth. So that's absolutely huge, 90 hours on this topic, but it's absolutely worth it. The understanding of the truth is important, it's vital to everything. So we started our reflections with the first part of the truth series, which was the 5 levels of truth. We discussed that with you in depth in the last few days, and we talked about each levels individually and then as a combination. So we ended that yesterday, and today we will be talking about why truth matters. Why truth matters. So let's do that together. You're always invited to join us in this conversation, in this reflection, not just by writing a comment, but also by calling in. And Facebook has made everything so easy for us that you could call us in on Messenger. So if you're there right now, you will be able to call Julie Ngoya. She'll put her details. Here's Julie Ngoya. She'll put her details down, and you can give us a call by just going onto your Messenger and tapping I still say dialing. I'm so old school, but tapping into the call button and you'll be able to get us here. So I want to appreciate you all again for joining us for these reflections on truth. Please engage with us as we're talking. Please also tell us what you want to tell us in the comment section, and also share your opinion, your thoughts on this series. This, again, I would say it over and over again, the Truth series is almost a foundation of being a living and healthy being. Somebody that is aligned with the truth, is aligned with the core of who they are. And, the truth for us, we realize that that's what makes us human. So thank you again for joining us, and it's such a pleasure to be reflecting with you on this series on truth. So thank you very much.
Yes, and we also have Joy, who just asked, you said the topic is what, please? Yes, the truth is the... I already went one step ahead. The topic is why truth matters. So that's a question, and it's also a question that we would like to ask you guys. And just share with us why you think truth matters. Why do you think truth matters, if it matters at all? Maybe it doesn't matter for you, or you think it doesn't matter as much. Whatever it is that's in your heart and that you believe and think, please share with us. Tell us what you think about that question. Why does truth matter?
Yes. It's a question, and it's also like a statement, because it says why truth matters, not the reason why truth matters. Is what Dr. Sunday was teaching, because there was no question mark in it. But we're asking you as a question now, why does truth matters? So let us know why you think truth matters. This is just like a little revision time for us as well. So I hope it will be a revision time for you. 45 titles in all in one series is quite a lot to take in. But the foundation is that the truth is absolute, is universal. But there's so much more to truth that personally I didn't know, and I'm sure many other people didn't know other areas of truth. Maybe areas that I knew they didn't know, or maybe areas they knew I didn't know, and Julie as well. So we learned a lot during this series, and this is our revision time so that we can imbibe this truth in us. So thank you again for joining us. Let me just say hello to a few people that just come in since we started live. Jefferson, good evening. How are you? Thank you for joining. Joy, how are you? Good evening. Julene, thank you. Good evening. I am still in Côte d'Ivoire. Thank you. It's nice of you to join us all the way from Côte d'Ivoire. And then we have Julene again. Thank you very much, Julene. Vivian, good evening. How are you? Thank you for joining. Olukayode, good evening. Thank you for joining. Raja, hello, good evening. Modupe, good evening. Thank you. We have
Julia.
Julia is here. Good evening, Julia. How are you? Seth, is it Seflan?
Svetlana.
Seflana.
Svetlana, yeah.
Seflana. Hello, good evening. Gift, hello again. Yinka, good evening. Idara, good evening. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. Please, guys, let me ask before we get in full gear of our reflections to please share. And I've coined a new one also, invite. So share and invite, that would be fantastic. Is it Julian?
Yeah.
Julian said something, truth shall make you free.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Julian.
Aisha,
thank you again, Aisha. Thank you for joining. I know you always have your lovely comments and insight that you give us during this program, so we appreciate you for that. So what Aisha said, for me, truth matters because you're free when you tell the truth. You don't have to remember anything. When you tell a lie, you always have to remember and protect that lie. Thank you very much. That is true. But telling the truth alone, in terms of remembering to tell the truth, in the way that you've put it in this context, is like is like the iceberg of the truth. There are quite a lot of other aspects of truth that Dr. Sunday thought and gave us that we were not considering. But you know what? Your stance was my stance on truth. It was just like I don't have to remember anything, and I just have to tell the truth so that I don't need to remember what I said. I'll just go back to the reference of what happened. And that was the way that I lived my life. And then also want to know the truth from other people. And I don't want any other people to lie to me. I want them to tell me the truth as well. But that's just like the tiniest bit of why truth is important, especially from this particular teaching. So thank you again. You understand, yes, Aisha, yes, you do need to start listening. I think we were very lucky that we had to do these reflections. So we went through the series again, and we're still going through them. So each time before we come on, we listen again. So if you're like us, please do the same thing, because we wouldn't be able to have this type of conversation if we didn't. Thank you very much. So let's go. We are going to go with why truth matters.
Yeah.
And Julie, I think somebody already answered in part of why truth matters.
Yeah. Well, maybe we can repeat the question again.
Okay.
For those who joined,
Yes.
We have a question that we asked at the beginning, which is, why do you think truth matters? What do you think are the reasons why one would say that truth is important or that it matters? So please share your thoughts and your contributions in the comments, and then we will read them out.
Yes, Aisha, I think you're probably asking when this started. So it started, what series? This is series 34, I believe. 34 on YouTube. So go to Sunday Adelaja Official. So if you're there, you're listening to us, you will find this series, all 45 titles in this particular series on YouTube. It's available on YouTube right now. And the YouTube channel that you need to go to is Sunday Adelaja Official. That's Sunday Adelaja Official. If you type that onto your browser, you would see Dr. Sunday's picture on your YouTube browser, search browser or whatever you call it. I think it's a browser. And then he's wearing a blue jacket and he's wearing a green shirt. So if you click on that picture, it will take you to Dr. Sunday's channel. And from his channel, the home page actually has the whole playlist on there. He has majority of the playlist. So just scroll down right in the middle, and you scroll to the right. You will see this series. There is the series on the power and force of truth, and it started on the 10th of July this year and ended on the 20th of August. So please check it out. Sunday Adelaja Official. So the question Julie just mentioned now is that why does truth matters to you? And we've had one answer, that you don't have to remember to the lies. You know, it's very, very taxing. You know, out of everything that happens, if you tell a lie, it's really challenging to remember every lie, which one you said, who you said it to, when you said it. You know, you don't need that, you know, and that's like the absolute basic. I think with children, we tell them that and we teach them that. And if you teach your children from an early age, you know, that would be great. You know, that would make them into very sound grown-ups or human being. If they know that, well, just tell the truth so that you don't have to think, oh, what happened? Let me try and remember. And also, that's another way of you also testing somebody. If you have to ask someone what happened with something and they're taking their time, they're trying to go into all their filing cabinets to dig out what they said to you, then you know that there's something going wrong. Actually, it makes you wonder. There's sometimes that people just are not thinking fast enough, but you do wonder, don't you? Even if they're telling the truth, because they're taking their time, you just kind of like, is this person, it gives you doubts. So that's an interesting one, and I think that's where we should all start from, you know, knowing that we need to tell the truth, because we don't need, by telling the truth, we don't need to refer back to any story that we told. We would just remember what happened. So Joy also said that the truth matters because I could not have been set free from religious ill practices that indicates paganism, which I was deeply into, without single knowledge of what I was doing. I always think that whatever works is true, but it's obvious now that absolutism of truth what absolutism of truth is. Thank you, ladies. Yes, Joy, you are a real student of Dr. Sunday, or should I say, you're a real great mentee of Dr. Sunday, because if you're not, you won't be able to link this conversation right now to his current series. So thank you. It's always nice to have family on board that are with us here, so you can really link the relationship between both what Dr. Sunday is saying now and what he's taught in the past. And it's a perfect example that you've given us there. Thank you very much. So Joy is saying that she wouldn't have been able to deduce the truth if not for the fact of understanding that truth is absolute.
Yeah.
And even though she's been deep in religion in the past, she was able to identify. And this is one of my struggle, Joy, that people that object to Dr. Sunday or criticize him, that how can they not make sense of what he's saying, because they should also be able to identify the truth, just like you're saying, but not many people can. And I think you have actually come to terms with the understanding that the truth is absolute. So well done for that. I'm going to take a leaf out of your tree or your branch as well.
Yeah, I also like that you said you were thinking that truth was just whatever works. And we've been going through that, and this is also part of the teaching that Dr. Sunday was mentioning in that question or that statement of why truth matters, because there is just no alternative. There's no alternative to truth. If there is an alternative, then that means that this is not true. So there really has to be no alternative for you to acknowledge that this is the truth that we are talking about. And I really like that, because it facilitates quite a lot. It facilitates your decision making, and it makes you realize that there are certain things that have to be done no matter what. Just like the examples that Dr. Sunday mentioned actually were that everything in the world is based on truth. Everything we do, the way the system works, the fact that people go to work, the fact that you have electricity, the fact that you have running water, all of these things are based on truth.
Yeah.
First of all, who thinks that way?
Yes.
I would not even think that the fact that I have electricity has anything to do with truth. It's just, there. So we don't even go as far as realizing that everything we see in life, the fact that, we have trees, the fact that we have oxygen, the fact that we have animals on the earth, the fact that human beings can walk on the earth and are not in the air but walk, just like we were talking about gravity, that gravity is the truth because we see it every day, but we don't go as far as acknowledging that. But it's really important for us to know that this is the basis of humanity. This is the basis of the universe and the basis of us existing. Yes. So thank you for saying that.
Yeah, I agree. I think Judy's saying that we don't really realize how important truth is in everything in life. In fact, the whole earth is based on the truth. If God is the truth, then earth is based on the truth. His kingdom here on earth is based on the truth. Everything that we see and we do, in terms of the things that we do right, the things that we both understand between you and I, just being able to even speak to each other, communicate, and you understand me, is based on the truth of the English language. Yeah. You can't decide that what I'm saying now is that I'm cursing you, because you understand that it is absolute, that these words that is coming out of my mouth is an English language, and is the English saying this thing. We've already pre-identified that in the language. Yeah. So if I was speaking another language, you would also be able to identify that this is another language. And even something as simple as, well, not simple, even electricity, even building a structure, foundation, relationship, everything is based, everything that is right, it has to be based on truth. Yeah. If it's not based on truth, then it cannot stand. It cannot stand the test of time. We cannot communicate as we are communicating and engaging now if there's no truth of this is what this word means in English. That's true. We wouldn't have the light if somebody decides that, okay, I know that it's Thomas Edison that that did the light, right? That invented the light. that, okay, if he says that this is a what, then I'm going to decide that this is not a what. This is what I'm going to decide it is. Or let's say people that work in the department of electricity, they decide that, well, today we're just not going to switch on the button because it's not evening now. It's actually morning. You know, the truth is it's evening right here in Ukraine. So if they decide that, well, actually no, we're going to go by US time and it's actually afternoon, that's not the truth.
Yeah.
So we wouldn't have electricity, you know, or somebody just decide that, well, this is not Ukraine anymore, this is USA, you know. So everything is based on truth. And yes, we don't think of it that way. We just think that the truth is just, well, I will speak for myself in this case. I think that the truth is just saying that, okay, I've been honest and also you be honest with me, you know, but without actually going to the next level and the depth that everything is about the truth. Everything is the truth. Anything that stands and you can still, you can, everything that stands and you also can identify with has to be absolute, and only truth is absolute. So if it's absolute, it's universal, then it is the truth.
Yeah. And a good example here that Dr. Sunday also gave was pregnancy, for instance. Pregnancy is the same, whether it is in Africa, it's in China, it's in Timbuktu, it's in, you know, Hamburg or Italy, wherever it is. This is truth. So this is, to simplify it, you know, we can go by what is universal everywhere, what does not have any boundaries in terms of culture, religion, orientation, age, whatever it is. We all know that any woman in this world who's pregnant usually has the time of pregnancy for her would be
normal pregnancy.
Normal pregnancy, right? Obviously there are, you know, problems and issues and everything, but the general consensus based on truth is that
9 months.
9 months. So it's a really practical thing, actually, you know, when we talk about truth. It's not as abstract as some may think.
Yes.
And I really love the fact that Dr. Sunday came up with these examples, because hearing it for the first time, we will think, I don't understand.
Yes.
But, you know, trying to make this up based on whatever is absolute. And maybe you can think about that. Think about examples where you would say, this is absolute because it applies to everyone. Yes. And it applies to every, you know, everywhere, every time.
And also, just as Julie is just saying that, think of examples where, you know, truth is absolute. I think also I would be interested to know of examples where people or someone start to kind of like make truth relative and what happened. I think it would really be interesting to know, to see 1 or 2 examples of that, so we can have that discussion, you know, because living in the West, or should I say in Europe, they have been, well, I'm not in the West right now, but growing up in the West, there's been a way where truth has been watered down a lot, is being diluted, and they always try to make it out that the truth is relative. Like, oh, you know, especially with equality, or, you know, maybe gender matters and sexuality matters and things like that. Yeah. And they start saying that, oh, if this person is feeling this way, or if this is how they are, that's their truth. That's true. Yeah. You know, that who are we to say? So there's just a lot of confusion and conflict on that matter. So for me, it was really nice. It was really like a breath of fresh air for me to know that the truth is absolute. You know, I might have my own choice of what I decide that I want to believe, but you know, there's no way that I can stand against the truth. So to know that was really a breath of fresh air for me, because working in a corporate environment, we try to be politically correct. Yes, I think that's what the word is now. And while you're being politically correct, you know that you're bending the truth. And the truth is not really absolute in situations where we're politically correct every time. So it's really important also not to kind of like be confused about this. Truth is absolute, is universal, you know, and is applicable. You can use the process of it to apply onto something, and you will get the result that you're supposed to get, not something else where they're telling you that, oh, you know, yes, she could be born a woman, but, you know, she's feeling that she wants to be a man, so that means she's a man. That's really confusing. Even for me as an adult, I find those things kind of confusing.
Yeah.
Not that I have any issue with anyone in that respect, but truth has really been banned. It's been manipulated so much, and we've accepted it as the norm, and that's the real danger there, where we've accepted this kind of these types of explanations that are not really truth as the truth. That okay, if that's how this person feels, then that means it's their truth. I would just accept it, and we don't even say that they're lying anymore. Or we don't say this is non-truth.
Yes.
And by the way, I found out about non-truth during this series. I didn't know that there's nothing. I didn't even know that there is a difference between non-truth and lies. But we get to that at some point. So those are the first points about this topic of why is truth important and why truth matters. So guys, let us know what your thoughts and what we've discussed so far, or what you think from our reflection so far. So do you want to read some comment?
Yeah, let me check some out here. Paul is saying exactly, yes. And Aisha as well. That probably
Somebody says appreciate it here.
Oh, where?
Oh.
So Aisha and Paul are saying exactly, so they were probably agreeing with us at some point. Hello, Queen Nikki. Exactly, no alternative to truth. Yes.
Yes, Joy, thank you for that.
Aisha is saying yes, so true, me too. Really, wow. That's when you were talking about relative truth, I think. Vivian is saying, right, agree. That is not the truth in the West. Many say they were born a certain way, but that is not the truth. Equality is not happening here. But even the presidents lie at every opportunity. It's really not the truth.
Vivian, thank you for that. You see, I mean, truth is related to everything that we do, even in politics, even in, and there's a real devastating effect of not applying and imbibing the truth in us. And I think also we don't realize how much this truth is impacting our lives. We think that, okay, it's nice to have, I can survive without it. But really, we're not surviving. And a good example is even the issue that Vivian is mentioning there with the president and what's happening in the political arena, and, what's happening with America, and, not just America, I mean, all over the world, where the truth is being manipulated, or where the truth is not really absolute. There's a devastating effect on that. And in any society where the truth is not their core, it's not their basis, then you would see the fruit of that. And the fruit is really devastating. If we look around, I mean, Africa is a very good example, which is my continent. And Nigeria, where I came from, I know that, or where I come from, okay, I'm still from Nigeria. So we see the effect of not abiding by the truth, like everyone making their own truth or doing what they think that is right for them to achieve what they want at that point. And the truth just keep quiet, and it would announce itself at the end of the day. But it wouldn't force itself. The truth is absolute. Like Aisha is saying, is in an American justice system, the truth is not absolute. You see, yes, and in many justice systems as well, it's not absolute. Even though the law says you should prove yourself and try to prove the truth, but it depends on your lawyer sometimes, and also on the law. But it shouldn't be that case. The case should be that it should be absolute. So anyone that has a case, it shouldn't be a gamble. It should be what happened. Can we investigate that this happened, and then get a verdict based on those things, not on which lawyer you had, and if your lawyer is really good at convincing the people that what you did was right or was not right. It should be truth that rules.
And even the same applies to even medicine. I'm thinking about, when I grew up in Germany, and I know that the fact that we have a very well-functioning medical system, for instance, is because of truth. There are things that you understand, like, for instance, if you know that this is the way the body is built, it is truth that applies to everyone. And so you are able to find to find solutions to problems that affect that body, because you know that the body is, you know, universal. Everyone has these types of organs to function in a specific way and to provide, you know, to sustain you the way it's meant to sustain you. But if you don't know the truth about your body, you have not studied the absolutism of your organs and the way that it's supposed to function, you may give someone, you know, the wrong what's it called?
Medication.
The wrong medication.
Prescription.
Prescription, exactly, for the sickness that they have, because you're not basing your operation on truth. So it's really, really important. You know, these are things that we may disregard, or that may not really necessarily appear as very important or actually obvious, but it is not. We really have to be sure that everything we do is based on truth, because it can cost us our lives at the end of the day.
Yes, and actually it does cost us our lives. Maybe it doesn't cost us in death, like going and dying, but we wouldn't have a very good quality of life if we're not basing everything that we do on truth.
Yeah.
And it's not absolute about that. I think Dr. Success, actually, during the time when Dr. Sunday was teaching this, made a very good point that in relations to what Julie just explained to us, where he was talking about quack doctors and giving an underdose or even an overdose of prescription. I think in an underdose, yes, it might have the same effect, because if you don't give enough of the medication, it would probably not work as well as it should do, and then the person would be in pain, or, you know, something might happen to the person, which, let's say there's an antibiotics issue, you know, and you're not giving enough, and to kill a germ or to kill something, and you gave just as, you know, you gave a dose that is for one person to two people, neither of them will feel better, and one of them might die if it's an infection or something that could be lethal. So, and then also, if you do give too much and say, well, I'm not going to go through this 7 days dose, you know, I'm just going to combine all the 7 days of the dose, and I'm just going to give it all at once. I mean, you know, what's the point of wasting 7 days? This person is in pain, let me just go with the whole 7 days. You know, sometimes you're ill and you think you're to yourself, but you know that you will kill yourself. Like when they give you a prescription and you're thinking, I'm really sick, I really want to get better now, but they said I should use this, and you wouldn't dare, would you? Because you know the truth. So that truth was absolute for you. If you're quack, you know, you might want to take everything. And that's why, you know, for some drug addicts, when they prescribe them methadone, they can't actually give them the whole dose that they should take for the week. They'll ask them to come in England, and they always ask them to go to the pharmacist. And when they give them the dose for that day, they actually hand it to them in the portion that they need to take it. Because if they give them for the whole 7 days, they overdose. Because they like the feeling or whatever, and then they just do something, they just take it all at once. And a lot of them die, you know, so that applies to everything. The truth is absolute, and the truth, we need to apply them. We need to apply the truth to the letter. We can't say, you know, this one suits me or it doesn't suit me. It's not relative. It is absolute. So we need to remember that.
And it's so important that you said that, because even a little inconsistency, you know, can cause a lot of damage. Especially, like, we can look at a house, for instance. You made that comparison earlier, that if you build a house, you first of all start with the foundation. But if the foundation is not based on truth, if you haven't done the calculations properly, you won't have a foundation that's going to last. Even if there's one piece that is missing, this actual foundation is not going to be able to be used to its full potential.
It wouldn't hold.
Exactly. Even hold.
It's not a solid foundation.
Yes. So it's so important that we're very meticulous and, you know, very, very correct about the truth. It's so, so important. And this is really why Dr. Sunday was teaching it, because we can make so many excuses, you know. We come up with so many excuses of why we can deviate or just make an exception and do it this time, do it different this time. But these little detours can cost us a lot.
Yes, and you know, talking about building, I think not even that long ago, I think probably this year or late last year, there was a church building that collapsed in Africa and in Nigeria, I think, to be precise. And this church building, it doesn't matter what they do there, if they're praying to Almighty God or whatever they're doing, they're not going to get saved by not applying the truth.
Yeah.
You know, and this is really important, because I think as Christian as well, we want shortcuts and we want God to do what we can do.
Yeah.
So we tend to pray instead of applying the truth.
Yeah.
And when we don't apply the truth, we also then say, God, save me from this. And then we get angry and we say, oh God, why have you forsaken me? Why is this happening to me? What's this? This is a disaster. This is the work of the devil.
Yeah.
OMG.
Blaming and pointing fingers.
The rate that we blame the devil for things is just disgraceful.
Yeah.
I'm sure even the devil is like, excuse me, I wasn't even... Why are you even calling my name? It's because we refuse to apply the truth. We don't value the truth.
Yeah.
Once we value the truth, we know that there's nothing that we cannot achieve, and also we will stand the test of time. But in the case of, you know, using the wrong materials to build a church, or cutting corners with the materials, or making some making some using inferior materials, or whatever they did that wasn't the truth, it wasn't right. You know, it stood for some time. The building stood for a little bit of time, but at some point it couldn't anymore. That's what the truth does. The truth will show its face and say, well, here I am. Doesn't matter blaming terrorism or whatever we want to blame. It wasn't that. It was just that the truth showed up. You know, and the truth would always show up. And I think one of the quotes that Dr. Sunday used was about virtue, that a country is great by the strength of the virtue, not by the I can't remember the quote, but just talking about countries, and you know, using the examples of the collapsed building.
Yeah, that no society can survive without the basis of the truth.
Yes, it says nations are great by the wealth of their virtue. So if your virtue is rich, you know, and the truth is a virtue, you know, so the wealth, how rich your truth is, how absolute your truth is the richness of it. So you become great by that. And we know that Africa is not great because of the low, the poor virtue, the poorness of their virtue. And number one virtue that Africa needs to imbibe and love and value, and you know, make their own love more than they love themselves, is the truth. If we all abide from that, from you know, from school to politicians, from home to politics, but you know, in every area, we would see our greatness as a nation.
And that's you know, and a practical example to this would be, imagine if just people say, today I don't want to go to work, you know, I just don't feel like it, or I don't honor the dignity of labor, and so people just decide not to go to work. But what if these people are supposed to monitor that electricity is functioning in that society? So they can't just decide not to go to work, because it will make everything else collapse. The truth is, we all have to honor the dignity of labor so that our society is going to work. It's going to function well. So these are really things that are so paramount. They're all based on truth, because it's absolute. In every society, if you look around, they have to make sure that the electricity is working based on the fact that people go to work to sustain that system. But if we don't have that, you know, it's because we see that truth is not valued as much in our society, in our countries, or in our continent.
Yes. And saying that, there was one of the things that Dr. Sunday said was that life would not function for us, you know, for you, for everyone, for me, without the truth. Everything collapses. You know, everything collapses without the truth. So, I mean, have we really ever thought of that? That the way things are not working, or why things are not working, is because we're not really applying the truth. You know, that was really deep for me, because you know, sometimes I've heard, and sometimes I've also used this as well, where I said, why is things not working? You know, I'm just, you know, it's not working. But the question I should be asking is, am I applying the truth?
Yeah.
Am I doing what I should be doing?
Yeah.
Am I trying my best? Have I done my research? Have I done my due diligence? Am I being truthful? Is this? Do I know the reasons why I'm going into this? And you say, "Oh, why is things not working?" And if I could answer, if I really am conscious about saying that why is things not working, and knowing consciously that I need to apply the truth first, and even when I haven't applied the truth, go back to apply the truth, I wouldn't ask that question, because I would know, and also I would be able to predict my life. I would be able to predict things. When Dr. Sunday did the teaching on life is predictable, you almost think that, okay, how is life predictable? But the way that you would know how life is predictable is by applying the truth every time. Knowing what the truth is, identifying the truth, and applying that truth. Then obviously it would be predictable. You would know what would happen next. Even if it doesn't happen because somebody is trying to block you or something is preventing that truth will still stand for you. So I don't ask myself those type of silly questions without having to do my own due diligence, and actually don't just ask it in saying the sentence, but ask it in actually using analytical thinking to say, yes, why is things not working? Did I do the right thing? What I thought was right, is it the truth, or is just what I wish was right, and I'm using so which is the case most of the time. And then when I don't get the result that I was expecting, I'm like, why is things not working? But really it's application and applying the truth absolutely every time.
This is so beautiful, because we can rest assured into the fact that whenever we are dealing with truth, it will work out. So even think about the smallest thing the first thing you do after you wake up. Even if you want to read a book, or you want to read a book in a week or in 2 weeks, there's a law, there's a principle that you have to apply to do that. And you will know that if you apply it, you will achieve your goal. This is the truth. It is applicable everywhere, anywhere, with anyone.
Yes.
And this is so reassuring that everything, as long as you apply the truth to your everyday life, every action that you undertake, it will work out.
Yes.
How much more peace could we have?
Yes. I think a practical example as well, I just thought of this just now with education and schooling, and, going to school every day, or even enrolling on a course. If you don't actually do the studies, understand what is being taught, and you even bypass your way with bribery and corruption or cheating, when you are qualified for that thing, the truth will just be staring in your face. The truth will be staring in your face, in the sense that you will not have the confidence to go and work in that profession, because you know that you didn't apply the truth, you don't have the knowledge, you don't have the understanding. So you could be getting away with it, maybe you're studying for a number of years, and you're paying other people to do your assignments, or do stuff for you, and you get the qualification. That truth will just be like, it will just be turning up all the time. So or even don't go that far. Even exam time, you're not going to have the confidence to go to walk into the exam if you are not doing your bite size of revision, of going back to the studies, understanding what you're being taught, engaging with other students to know what their opinion is, doing revision with other people, all these kind of things that you need to apply, which are truths. If you don't apply them, the truth will show up in your results. Dr. Sunday told us a story once that he was during an exam in I think it was in Belarus or Russia somewhere, and he did an exam, and he knew, right, that he did well, because he knew that he knows everything. And then they said that somebody else got the highest result, that he went to the exam board, he took it as far as possible, because he said, I want to see the exam papers, and I want to see the papers of the person that got the best result. The so-called person that got the best result, because he knew. And the same thing could apply if you're the other way around, where you didn't do your exams well, you didn't do your due diligence, you didn't study well. if they give you a result that, is not good, you can't be that confident. The truth would not give you the confidence to go and say anything or to challenge anyone. So I think that, if you're out there, you're studying now, or you're just starting, I don't know why I even mentioned this, but if you're just starting school, it's September now, a lot of people are starting. I think you should start as you mean to go on. I don't want to, I'm not preaching, I'm just kind of like sharing this because it just came to my mind about the truth and applying the truth. You don't need to panic, you don't need to be exhausted. If you take every day of what you're learning and you revise on what you're learning, you make sure that you understand everything that you're learning, you apply those things, you go back to it. As you're learning new things, you do this, you go through the same process. You set yourself like a strategy of how you're going to finish your course, or how you want to end the course. So you can predict it that, okay, if I'm getting this assignment, this many assignments in a week, this is my hours, just doing your timetable and sticking to it, being consistent, knowing that you know where you're going with it, and you know what you want to achieve at the end of the day. You want to achieve the good results, but you also want to achieve the knowledge that you need to confidently apply yourself in that field or in the role that you're studying for. So please, I think that this truth should be something that, if we can go through the series on truth for the rest of our lives, I think that it will be worth it, because this topic is our very, very core, our very, very foundation to us being human beings.
Yeah, and you know what? It made me actually think of one quote that I saw. I'm a quote person, so I tend to gather quotes and search for them and keep whatever I get inspired by. And one of the quotes that I found recently is, "A lie can travel halfway around the world, while truth is putting on its shoes."
Woo! OMG.
Isn't that amazing? It's just exactly what you just said. Wow. We can get away with lies for a specific period of time, but only for a specific period of time.
Just putting on your shoe means to me that the truth is so relaxed.
Yes.
It's like, keep running around the world. Yeah. Keep going, keep going.
You think you got it.
Yes. Yeah. I'll put on my shoes. I'll take my time. Look at the distance around the world.
Yeah. And around the world. And this means it can even take years. It can take decades.
Yeah.
It can take centuries. But the truth is that the truth is going to overtake you anyway.
Yes.
It's going to overtake you no matter how far and how fast you run.
I just remember another story that I think it was Dr. Success that told, or Dr. Sunday, I'm not quite sure. One of them told a story during this truth series that there was a doctor that used to receive bribe from the student, and the doctor just passed the student, all the time, and the student got the certificate as a doctor, graduated, and moved on. Then 20 years later, his wife was ill. Guess what? The doctor that was available to treat the wife or to do the surgery on the wife was the one that this professor passed and let go throughout. And this was a life-threatening operation or treatment that he wouldn't allow the ex-student, 20 years a student, to treat the wife. It was just like, no. This is one of the things that...
Wow.
This is so crazy. This is the example of the truth wearing his shoes. So even when the doctor is thinking, well, it's not going to be my business, if I'm going to treat other people. And this is another thing, that this is now borderline in wickedness. If we know the truth and we don't apply the truth, it means that we're deceptive and we're also wicked, because that professor passing this person knows that this person would take that qualification to be a doctor, but he was thinking that it's not going to affect me. It's not going to be my problem, it's not going to be my issue. And not knowing that 20 years later, it is actually going to be your issue. And it was his issue. So it was very, very unfortunate, So I'm glad that we're treating this issue on truth. And we should always apply the truth at any cost to us. Even if it costs us our life, then we should still apply the truth. Let it be. If we lose our life because we're telling the truth, I think it's a worthy cause to lose your life.
For the truth.
Yes. And that takes me to Dr. Sunday's video recently. He did this video. It was published the night
Great
of...
transition.
Yes. It was published, I think it was on Saturday night. And the title is "To My Friends, Don't Cry for Me."
Please.
To my friends, please don't cry for me. Julie just reminded me. I mean, even "Don't Cry for Me" alone is enough. But please don't cry for me was absolutely amazing. That video is only just over 10 minutes long. You must look for it on Dr. Sunday's page, Dr. Sunday Adelaja. So look for that video. It's a very, 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 very important video. It tells you a lot about who this person is. It tells you a lot about his character, and it tells you a lot about yourself as well, as an individual, what it means. For me, I learned in that video to be bold and to stand for the truth. I learned also that I should take responsibility for what I believe in. Even if nobody stands with me, I should stand alone, and be confident in my standing of, okay, if I'm the only one standing, as long as this is the truth, I can apply all levels of truth to this, and I'm happy, and this is what I am convinced about, then I should hold on to it and stay steadfast, strong. It taught me also to be brave, not to be a coward on issues, which is a big thing. It's different from me being alone, but it's also being brave, even by sharing his thoughts and saying what he wanted to say to his friends and to anyone that cares to listen. It was really empowering for me. And he also taught me a lesson as well, that to let other people be, to allow other people to be what they want to be.
Yeah,
and
to
I
say
should
whatever they want to say.
And don't hate them. Don't look down on them for the choices that they make. Don't unfriend them if they want to unfriend you. Still love them, and and finally, I think for me, telling your friends that you're releasing them of the responsibility to carry your burden, that's really what I think that's really Christ-like kind of heart. And again, I would say that for me, it really empowered me. So if you're on Facebook right now, as you are, and you haven't seen this already, please look out for that video. We'll try and post it again so that you can see, or just re-share it so that you can see the video. It says, the title is Dear Friends, to my friends, please don't cry for me. Very, very, very good. So guys, just a reminder, all the videos that you see or anything that you watch live on Facebook on Dr. Sunday Adelaja's page would be available within 48 hours. We make every effort within 48 hours to upload it onto Sunday Adelaja Official. Sunday Adelaja Official, that's on YouTube. Sunday Adelaja Official. And to access this video is so easy. You just type in first you type in YouTube on any browser, or you click your apps for YouTube and you type in Sunday Adelaja Official. Once you type in Sunday Adelaja Official, you'd see a picture of Dr. Sunday. He's wearing a blue suit and green shirt and green bow tie. Click on that. Once you click on that, you will get to his channel homepage. On his homepage, there are an array of playlists that you can watch on different titles, different series. So please go ahead and explore that. And do us a favor as well. Why don't you also subscribe to it? Because once you subscribe, you can always request for notification as well. So when anything comes up that is new, you get a notification to tell you that there's a new video that's been uploaded. And of course, being on Facebook already, I know that you would have liked Dr. Sunday's page, and so that you'll be getting notification. So don't leave your notifications as default. Change it to see first. That's what I do with everything that I like and I want to learn from, even if I don't have the time eventually to actually watch it as I get the notification. At least I know that it's available for me to watch. So go and like Dr. Sunday's page and change the notification to see first. The default is just random, but the option that would benefit you would be see first.
Also, in the spirit of announcements, we have the History Makers that is coming up in November. And some of you may have seen that I've posted the banner that is official now, and you can now go and register for it. So you will have to go to sundayadelajablog.com/register. Oh no, actually visit, and then you will see a form where you can register for the HMT. So please, please, please do that if you want to be part of it. It's going to be mind-blowing, really mind-blowing. This is something you don't want to miss at all.
Okay, I cannot overemphasize for you History Makers training.
Yes.
I mean, what the word says, history maker, is what you become after attending this.
Yeah.
Most people that have attended this have actually testified to that. And if you go on YouTube as well, you will see videos of previous History Makers training. You can have a look, watch it, and see what the experience is like. And also there's testimonials of people that have been for History Makers, not once, not twice. They keep coming back because they know what they achieved during the 5 days.
Yeah.
You know, they know what they're able to achieve.
Yeah.
A lot of people have not been able to achieve certain things for years that they've been dreaming to do. And after the attendance, they, you know, that project or that ideas that they had, they're able to achieve them in a short space of time. So they'll come back if they have another idea, like, let me go and take a dose of this. Really, even attending once would change your life rather than even coming over and over again.
Yeah.
So if you've never attended History Makers training, then please make it a point. This is in November, so you have a buffer of a whole month, if not 6-7 weeks now, to plan and make the right arrangements for you to come here. You may need visa. I don't know where you're coming from or what passport you hold. Then you need to make those arrangements, and also buying your tickets and all those kind of things, and paying for the actual training. So please put that in your plans and start to take the actions that you need to in order to achieve this.
Yeah. And if you have any questions, you can always contact guest@godembassy.org. Guest@godembassy.org. It's all in the banner, so you have all the information there. And we really, really hope to see a lot of you and put some faces to the names that we see every day. So yeah, please join us.
Yes. I mean, as Julie is saying, please, I just wanted to say to her, listen, right? They will be benefiting from this. So don't please.
Yes, you really will be benefiting.
I said please for sharing, but for History Makers, don't come because we are saying that you should please come. Come because you want to achieve something.
Yes.
Because there's something in your mind, or there's a project, there's an idea, there's something that you want to learn, and you have to put in the work. History Maker is not a joke. It's not playing.
It really gives justice to the word, because some people may be like, oh, History Maker.
It's not a holiday as well. So I know Julie is saying please, because we're used to saying please for sharing. But for History Maker, let me just tell you, there's a lot of hard work. You're up from latest. You have to be in the classroom or in the training room from 8 a.m. in the morning. And then it ends about maybe 12 midnight.
Or maybe later even.
Maybe later. Yeah. And then when it ends, you also have assignments to do, which involves reading, writing down what you've understood by the reading, and then doing presentations the following day.
Yeah.
An average sleeping time for people that attend History Makers is 4 hours. So it's not a joke, but you would achieve something big.
Yes, this is really for History Makers.
Yes, you put the time, you put the hours, you put the commitment into History Makers, you're not going to leave the same.
Yeah.
You know, your life will never be the same again. If you put everything that you need to put in it, you follow what you're supposed to follow, you do your own due diligence, you would achieve something, you know, and it would be something great. So History Makers training, ask other people on the platform who have been, you know, if you've been friends with other people, why don't you ask them how History Makers is? And like I said earlier, you can also go on Sunday Adelaja Official. You will find that on Sunday Adelaja Official, there are videos of History Makers. Look at History Makers 2016 and the one that we did earlier this year. We even had youth History Makers just about a month ago. Just have a look at what people, does that suit what you want to do? If it doesn't suit what you want to do right now or what you want to achieve, of course you can make your decisions from there. But we're just saying to you that History Makers is really something that is worth attending, and you have some time now to prepare for that, to make your arrangements and to ensure that you're able to come, you know, so you can plan in advance. So that's our take on that. We're going to end very soon, but there's some comments.
Yeah, do you want to read them out?
Yeah, should I?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go for it.
Hello, Aderemi, good evening. Yetunde, good evening. How are you? Tony, hello, good evening. Hi for me, Oluwatoyin again. Thank you very much. MC, thank you very much for loving what we're doing. We appreciate you too. Thank you. Hello, Mayowa, good evening. Thank you. Hello, Ladi. It's been a while. Ludmila. Hello, Ludmila. Well, good evening. How are you? Evangelist Felix. When is Brother Sunday live? Brother Sunday will be live. Why am I even saying Brother Sunday? Okay, Pastor Sunday or Dr. Sunday or Brother Sunday, as Evangelist Felix has said, will be live in an hour. That's 9 p.m. Ukraine time, and that's 7 p.m. UK and Nigeria time. So join us in an hour, Evangelist Felix. We look forward to having you with us. Ola Dele, good evening. Thank you for joining. Hi, Gideon, sorry. This I saw Idowu, and only Idowu I called them ID, but hello, Gideon. That's probably his last. I think it's Gideon's last name. Hello, Benny. How are you? Good evening. Hello, Lydia. Good evening. Gregory. How are you? Hey, Ken. Good evening. Charles. Good evening. Vivian again. Ireti. Good evening. Bakare. Good evening. Adeji. Benga. Good evening. Thank you for joining. So Joy says here, I would have still been a stupor of ideas. You don't know what you have done in my life. Knowing the truth about prayer and how to pray make me very, very free. I see my desire coming to pass without shouting or binding different demons. Oh my God, you don't know. I mean, did you hear Julie sighing? Because Julie resonates with you very much, Joy. Yes. Julie has her stories about prayer, and if you hear it, it's similar to most people's story, yes. But it's just such a relief. Yes. Also, we feel the same way. So, Julie, maybe you want to share this story.
It's so beautiful. Thank you so much for saying that, Joy, because I really feel you. Just knowing the truth about prayer and what it means, even when people come and cite or quote things like, pray without ceasing. What does that even mean? Yes. You know, and you're thinking, oh my God.
And it's in the Bible, but if you don't know, you can be used to manipulate you, or you feel like you haven't done enough in terms of prayers.
If you don't know the truth about that verse, you're going to be manipulated, you will feel bound, and you're going to waste your time, waste your life away. And I totally understand you, and I really, really thank you for saying that, because you can see the freedom that truth is bringing because you know it now.
Yes,
you know, this is about prayer, but see how much freedom it has given you. See how you're free. You're free to pray. You're free to know God in your way, in a truthful way.
Yes, in a loving way, in a true father-daughter way, not in a dictator and
prescribed
ATM
prescribed way going to recite
law enforcer way. You know,
I mean,
it's so freeing, it's so liberated. So I'm really grateful. Thank you, Joy, for that. And also, Joy, this truth series as well is one of the helpers of liberation, because you know, in the first week when we discussed the reflected on the truth, when we started the reflection, we also discovered that the truth that we tell ourselves about ourselves is our relationship with God too. It's a form of prayer, because when you're saying, God, I'm not so good at this, I'm very unhappy about this, I'm happy about this, thank you for doing this to me, you're giving me this and all that, that is the truth. And it's not necessarily something that you do by getting on your knees, and even, you know, just understanding how to pray alone, that is enough. You know, if you go on Dr. Sunday Adelaja's page on YouTube, which is Sunday Adelaja Official, you will discover how to pray. And I think that you have, Joy, I congratulate you for that. If you haven't seen this series, I mean, if you haven't watched this series, I think it's worth watching this series on prayer. Yes. You know, that's Julie's favorite.
It's my favorite.
Yes, it's her favorite. I haven't actually, I was part of the DSA family during this series, and you know, I listened to it, but I can't remember exactly. I know that it was good. It liberated me. That's what I took from it. But I would like to also watch it again as well. And my favorite is the one on purpose. and it's series number 9 if you don't know. So and there's a book to accompany that as well, which is Who Am I, Why Am I Here. I think once you have that understanding, and this truth series and analytical thinking series, all those things, all those 3 combined as a basic foundation, you cannot go wrong. You know, you can be strong as like as a tower. You know, you're really exactly, you would become exactly what God wants you to be. You know, the truth series, the series on calling, series number 9, series number 34,
and series number 7.
Series number 7, that's Julie's one prayers. And the book Who Am I, Why Am I Here? You can get that on Amazon. All that combination, I think it's 4 now because Julie just slot hers in. Okay, and also 5, analytical thinking.
Yes.
You need to check that out as well. So if you got all that combination, you know, you would be amazed how your life would transform.
Yeah.
You know, from
like
heights to height.
Yeah, you feel like floating every day.
Yes. Evangelist Felix said, I can't always wait to listen to pastors preach the word. Yes, you know. I mean, it's not even the word to me anymore. It's not like, you know, this is like just it's like releasing some sort of truth.
Yeah.
It's like birthing to truth.
Yeah.
You know, when
birthing freedom. Like
yes.
Releasing freedom.
Yeah, so it's amazing. But I hear you, I totally do. We all can't wait. Thank you very much, Evangelist Felix. Seth says the truth is not relative but absolute. It is not the truth that it's the opposite kudos. It is not the truth, then it is the opposite kudos. Thank you very much for that. Aisha, good evening. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's it. We've read everything, right?
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Thank you, Roland. Thank you very much. Curtis, good evening. We're just leaving. The truth should be second nature to you. That's from Vivian. Thank you for that. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
So we appreciate you, and we will see you again tomorrow. Tomorrow, I think we're going to switch it up a little bit, and we're going to discuss attributes tomorrow. So we did number 19, right? So the next attribute is 20, which is tomorrow at 7 p.m. Ukraine time, which is 5 p.m. UK and Nigeria time. Guys, please do us the honors and please check it out so that you can have an engaging time with us, with your comments, with your you can even call us on Julie's phone, Julie's messenger. You can do that. So please join us tomorrow. We're going to discuss attributes. Ladies, if I don't have husband and 3-year-old boy, I'm going to take a week away in a resort just to be fed by all the series. Oh, you know, Aisha, I understand you, but you can still do it with that. You know, they should not stop you from your purpose. Your purpose is paramount, you know, but you will get to discover that. You won't even use them as an excuse anymore. They would be your propeller. By the time you listen to this truth series and you listen to other things, you will start to build your own muscle, and you realize that you can do this. You can do all of these things, even with everything that God is giving you, a husband and a 3-year-old boy, or three children, whichever one. I'm not sure if I read it correctly, but 3 children.
Yeah, 3-year-old boy. Actually, yes.
Even with a 3-year-old and a husband, you just passed the accident. You know, you can do all things. Remember, you can do all things.
Yes, and think about the example of the elephant. You know, cut it into small pieces. Every day, you eat a little piece until very quickly it's going to be eaten. Everything is going to be gone, and you're going to have gone through everything in no time. So just persevere.
So eat your elephant in pieces.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Lisa, thank you very much. We appreciate you. I hope you're back for good. You said you miss our faces, golden girls.
Aww.
Thank you. We appreciate you, Lisa.
Lisa.
So we'll see you in exactly now 50 minutes. At least you will see Dr. Sunday. We would be reading your comments, and we will still see you in some way.
Yeah.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.